In a world where love and fulfillment are often sought after, the principles of Stoicism offer a valuable view on how to lead a fulfilling and meaningful life. Stoicism teaches us to never court love, but rather build a strong foundation of self-love. By letting go of dependence on the acceptance of others, we can find pure happiness. When we court love, we place our happiness in the hands of others. By loving ourselves, we create an unshakable foundation. Have it all naturally, says Stoic, by finding contentment in simplicity and gratitude. True happiness comes from what is natural and essential. Embracing self-love, according to Stoicism, is the key to reducing dependence on external validation. Self-love is the necessary foundation for a fulfilling life. In the quest for inner peace, Stoicism teaches us to focus on our thoughts and emotions. By seeking inner peace, we understand that true fulfillment comes from within, not from without. Embracing impermanence, Stoicism invites us to let go of attachment to things that are temporary. Everything changes, and by embracing impermanence, we can find freedom from fear and dissatisfaction. This is the gateway to a meaningful and fulfilling life. Let us explore the principles of Stoicism wisely and guide ourselves through the complexities of existence with strength, wisdom, and grace. Here are the steps so that we do not become slaves to love. 1. Never seduce love. Stoicism teaches that true love should be given and received without coercion or manipulation. Begging for love reflects desperation and neediness that can undermine the authenticity of love itself. When we beg for love, we put our happiness and self-worth in the hands of others, making us dependent on their validation and approval. This can lead to constant anxiety and insecurity. Stoicism encourages us to build a strong foundation of self-love and acceptance. By focusing on building internal strength and inner contentment, Stoicism invites us to recognize that our worth is not determined by the love or attention we receive from others. Instead, we are invited to focus on building a strong foundation of a sense of self-worth and inner fulfillment. Stoicism's words of wisdom that can be inspiring in this context are, "True love comes freely, without insistence." When we value ourselves fully, we no longer need to beg for love from others to feel whole. In adopting this principle, we can find freedom from the need for external validation and create space for pure, natural love to flourish in our lives. In closing, Stoicism teaches that through self-acceptance and the courage not to beg for love, we can find genuine and sustainable happiness. 2. Have everything naturally. Stoicism teaches us to find happiness in simple and natural things, rather than constantly pursuing material desires and achievements. In a world often filled with consumerist impulses, Stoicism reminds us to be grateful for what we already have and find contentment in simplicity. The importance of having everything naturally is to shift the focus away from excessive desire and accumulation of objects that do not always bring happiness. Stoicism suggests that true happiness comes from an awareness of what is truly important in life, such as the beauty of nature, the relationships we have, and the basic needs that nurture life. In the wise words of Stoicism, we are invited to reflect. Live simply and gratefully, for true contentment is not found in excess, but in the simple pleasures of nature. By letting go of superfluous desires, we find true wealth in a natural and simple life. 3. Embracing self-love. Embracing self-love is the core of the philosophy of Stoicism. It is like giving ourselves a hug, recognizing its value and uniqueness. Imagine if we treated ourselves as well as we treat our best friends. It's not about being arrogant, but recognizing that we deserve love and appreciation, not only from others, but also from ourselves. When we embrace self-love, We learn to accept our strengths and weaknesses without judgment. It's like befriending ourselves on this journey of life. When we speak to ourselves with encouraging and loving words, we build strength in the face of challenges. For example, the wise words of Stoicism: "True happiness is when you like the person you see in the mirror." This invites us to create a positive relationship with ourselves, see the beauty in limitations, and dive into the wisdom in every step of life. By embracing self-love, we open the door to a more meaningful and blissful life, because truly, happiness does not only come from outside, but from within, from the way we love and embrace ourselves. 4. Seeking inner peace. Seeking inner peace is an art taught by Stoicism. It is not just peace of mind, but a true attitude towards a challenging life. Stoicism teaches us to focus on our own thoughts and emotions, understand them, and not let external turmoil disturb the inner peace. When we embrace inner peace, we learn to accept circumstances as they are without futile resistance. Life is an uncertain flow, and Stoicism teaches us to embrace this reality. By recognizing that change is part of existence, we can find peace in the present moment. In the wise words of Stoicism, life is like running water. It is never the same twice. So, savor each passing drop and find peace in change. Through this peace of mind, we can find true happiness that is independent of external conditions. 5. Embrace impermanence. In this life, everything is always changing. It's like the seasons changing. Stoicism teaches us to embrace the fact that all things are temporary. Imagine a flower that blooms beautifully but soon withers. So it is with our lives. By accepting this impermanence, we can experience each moment more deeply, such as realizing that every second has its own unique beauty. The Stoics gave us the wise words: "Do not attach your heart to something that cannot last forever, for in uncertainty lies beauty." They taught that by freeing ourselves from attachment to temporary things, we can find deeper happiness and gratitude for the moment. So, let's embrace change, for in it lies the wisdom to savor every step of our journey. 6. Focus on personal growth. Stoicism invites us to focus on personal growth. In our daily lives, this means engaging in regular self-reflection. We are invited to dive into our thoughts, behaviors, and values. By understanding our strengths and weaknesses, we can identify areas that need improvement. Stoicism teaches that the ultimate goal is to be the best version of ourselves. Therefore, setting meaningful and realistic goals is an important step. Through struggle and achievement, we feel a sense of fulfillment and meaning in life. In this process of growth, challenges are seen as opportunities to learn. Instead of avoiding difficulties, Stoicism teaches us to face them with our heads held high. In doing so, we build strength, wisdom, and character. In the wise words of Stoicism, growth is not just about reaching the top of the mountain, but also about enjoying the difficult journey up. By focusing on personal growth, we not only improve ourselves, but also make a positive contribution to the world around us. 7. Accept the uncontrollable. Acceptance of what we cannot control is at the core of Stoic teachings. Imagine life as a journey on a sea full of unpredictable waves. The Stoics taught that we should not get too hung up on the direction of the wind or the waves, but rather focus on our ability to manage the ship of our life. Seneca, a Stoic philosopher, reminds us, we cannot choose the conditions of our lives, but we can choose how we respond to them. This is a call to embrace uncertainty with your head held high. Don't get caught up in struggling against the tide, but learn to dance with the current. Epictetus adds, we cannot change the wind, but we can set the sails. This is an invitation to direct our energy towards the things we can control, our thoughts, attitudes, and actions. By accepting the fact that most of life is not in our control, we release the unnecessary burden of thoughts and open the door to inner peace. As voyagers of life, Stoics teach us to be wise captains, understanding the difference between things we can control and those we cannot. 8. Developing emotional resilience. Stoicism teaches that to develop emotional resilience, we are invited to understand that our emotions can be managed wisely. Stoicism teaches us not to get carried away by intense feelings, but rather to form a calmer and more objective attitude. By practicing seeing emotions from a clearer perspective, we can avoid impulsive reactions and respond with a cooler head. One technique applied is negative visualization, where we imagine the worst possible scenario. This is not to create fear, but to mentally prepare ourselves and realize that we can overcome challenges. Some wise words from Stoic philosophers, such as Seneca, that are relevant to this principle are, when we cannot change the situation, the best we can change is our perspective on it. This reflects the importance of focusing on what we can control, namely our thoughts and responses to the world. By doing so, we can find calm amidst the uncertainties of life. 9. Practice gratitude. It teaches us to shift our focus from the things we lack or don't fulfill our desires, and instead be grateful for what we already have in life. In a life that is often filled with wanting more or less, Stoicism teaches us to look around and appreciate the abundance that is already around us. In the wise words of Stoicism, we are invited to live in the present moment and appreciate the beauty around us. They teach that true happiness lies not in what we do not yet have, but in the appreciation of what we do have right now. For example, the wise words of Stoics can remind us that life is a gift, and by being grateful, we seize every moment as an opportunity to enrich our lives. Thus, the practice of gratitude in Stoicism is not just an expression of gratitude, but a worldview that teaches us to see beauty and abundance in our every move. This is the key to finding fulfillment in every journey of life. In our quest for a meaningful life, Stoicism serves as a wise guide. Through its principles, we are invited to love ourselves, find peace in simplicity, and grow as resilient individuals. Stoicism teaches us to accept reality, establish meaningful relationships, and find happiness from within. So, let us walk wisely, carrying the wisdom of Stoicism in our every step, so that we do not become slaves to love. In this digital age, let us connect further. Feel free to like, comment, to share your thoughts, and don't forget to subscribe to stay inspired. Share this video with friends who might also find value and wisdom in Stoicism. Let's build a community of mutual support for a more meaningful life together. Thank you for being along for the ride, and let us continue to learn and grow together. See you on the next adventure.